Hey, welcome back to the hottest marriage show in town. I am too much, and my better half is due. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
So,
So I was doing really well. So right before he hit record, I told him I was gonna share a playlist with him of music that I really enjoy, stuff that makes me feel right. And so I'm in here and I'm just like doing a playlist or whatever. And I look over to my left and dude is just standing there holding the mic looking at me.
oh no, I was listening.
Oh, okay. It was like, you ready? I was
Oh
like,
no,
oh.
yeah, no, I didn't. I
So
didn't
I
see it
was
was a
doing,
rush.
I was definitely doing well just a second ago. Yeah.
uh, I got I had a thought right before we started. As a kid and watching TV, seeing families like The Cosby Show or National Lampoon's Vacation, is there anything that as a kid, as a family, y'all didn't do that you said, I want to do when I get older? Like when I have my family? Or is there something like that we're doing that you didn't do, that you were inspired from watching a movie or a show? Do you understand the question?
Yeah, I understand it. No, actually, I didn't have any like grand ideas of what it was going to be like. Oh, when I get older, this is what I'm going to do. When I was younger, we went on family vacations. We did, we went to amusement parks and stuff like that. We didn't, there wasn't anything that I've never really been like somebody that wants to do it bigger and better than ever before. I just wanted to enjoy myself. I've always been like that, and I've enjoyed myself. We've done the traveling. We've done the amusement park situation really bummed me out though, because the kids don't really like amusement parks like we did. But
why do you think they don't like amusement
I
parks?
don't know. I guess I'm just thinking, like when we were younger, we used to go to Cedar Point, and almost every summer, I feel like. And we used to stand in these lines, and it was no complaining. We knew we were going to be in this line for like 45 minutes trying to ride this ride, and we did not care. We wanted to ride the highest, the fastest, whatever roller coasters. And so this last summer when we went to Cedar Point, we took the kids. Cedar Point is not what I remember. Obviously, I haven't been there for like 20 years. But the kids were like, it's a long line. Let's do this one. It was not like, we used to get off of some of the roller coasters and be like, let's get back on. Not them. They'd be like, oh, okay, been there, done that. Let's do something different. And it was just like, I guess I expected a lot more excitement, but they're like, yeah, okay, that was an experience. Let's try this elephant ear, this funnel cake. But for me, it's always been, I just want my kids to enjoy their childhood. That was all I really wanted. And anything that I was involved in where they were enjoying their childhood, that was good enough for me. But I didn't have anything that I really wanted to, like, I must do a cross-country trip or no, I didn't have any visuals like that. You?
You're boring. I thought you
The
like,
level of judgment.
I do, because when I remember when we first met, you didn't seem so. You just, to me, your conversation was just filled with so much more. And when I say that, I'm saying like I would have imagined you saying, "Oh yeah, I would have wanted to do this and that." Like it to me, when I hear you, that's a part that I just I didn't know that.
Well, I just feel more like I'm open to anything. That's how I look at it. It wasn't like I went in and I'm like, I gotta do this and this and this. But if you say, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, sure.
I know, but to me, it's open to being boring too. And when I say boring, I mean like not do anything.
No, because when the kids were small and, I didn't want them to just be sitting at home. So if you want to go play at the water playground in Centennial Park, let's go. You want to go to the Children's Museum, let's go. You want to go.
Did you do that as a kid?
My mom took us to the museum. She took us to the lake.
Oh yeah, I never did any of that.
Yeah, so like we've done it where I've like packed their lunch, taken them to do, like they can never say she had us in the house all week.
No,
like,
I'm saying, no. Did you just model your mother?
In a way, my mom just made sure that we enjoyed our childhood. So I would think about what would they like to do, and then I would make it happen. Think Day wants to be in gymnastics? Let's do it. You think Dallas wants to be, in some activity? Then let's do it. Like I was really open to whatever they wanted, and when they were too young to really say this is what I want, I was just going to give them a mixed bag of stuff, see what they like. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't ever think of myself as boring. I think of myself as open to whatever possibility at the time, and just do it. But I don't need a lot of bells and whistles, and
I don't know what I said to create bells and whistles.
You said I was boring.
It is like, because
no,
you
what? So if it's a Friday, so one day it was a school day. The kids were in their uniforms, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take them to Centennial Park to go play in the water. So we stopped at the store. I get them some cheap little shorts and t-shirts so then they can, run around. We had snow cones. We rode on the little Ferris wheel, the little sky thing that goes over, Atlanta so you could see the city. We went and played in the water park. And then they came home. They did their homework. They had dinner, and they had a great day. And it was like the middle of the week. Then there's another day where I packed, a whole bunch of food, and so they could be out at it was like a water playground, a few exits up from us, and they went and played at the water playground. And it was funny because there was litter at the water playground. There were some chip bags and some bottles, and Dallas was like, they've littered everywhere around here. And he was like bothered by it. But the kids from the neighborhood were picking up the bags and the bottles, and they were filling them with water and chasing each other. And so then Dallas was like, when in Rome. He was like, oh. So then he started doing it. They started doing it. They were like enjoying themselves. And it's like just experiencing. People don't do everything like you do. Yes, litter, but the kids was like, nah, this is about to be a part of the game. And they had a great time. I
don't think that's not probably what I was like leaning to. I know the things that you do. I was just wondering, like, when you say you're open to just whatever, in my mind, when I hear that, it's like whatever, like literally whatever can mean nothing. So
no, you can't do that with kids. You can't do nothing.
No, so that's not, I get that. I know that's not what you've done, but when you say that, that's what I hear. So
well, that's not what I meant.
When I think about my childhood, and my childhood was totally different from yours, but everything I wanted to do because I didn't have that exposure. So
what did you envision?
We're doing everything. Like, we've done so many of the things that I thought we would do. But I still want to do the cross country trip. Me and Dallas talked yesterday. We're going to do the Dalton Highway down, all the way down to Argentina. Dalton Highway starts in Alaska. And we talked about this. There's this guy. I'm going to tell you, this is so dope. So Darius came back with a book, and it was like about geography and different fun facts or whatnot. And Dallas was telling me about what was in the book, and he was like, look at this. Did you know there was a road that go from Alaska all the way down to Argentina? I was like, I don't know. I was like, you want to do that? He was like, yeah. He was like, when should you? I asked him, when you want to do it? He was like, I don't know. Well, I was like, do you want to be an adult? And he was like, yeah. I was like, because we're going to need like 2 or 3 months. And he was like, it's going to be that long? I was like, yeah, because we don't want to just go straight through that. So about 5 minutes later, Dallas leaves. And I'm watching YouTube. And guess what I find? A guy who goes from Alaska all the way down to Argentina. Like, I didn't type nothing in. I didn't look nothing up. And I'm like, I know this internet be listening to us.
Your
but
FBI agent, Jeffrey, he put it out there for you.
It is so crazy. So, listen, this guy, though.
Mine is named Jeffrey. Go ahead.
Who's Jeffrey?
He's my FBI agent
You
that
so
be listening
stupid.
to me.
You crazy.
Oh.
So, the guy, he did a trip from Malaysia to England. Oh, mind you, on a moped motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
When I listen to this. When you look at this moped motorcycle, you would never in your life believe that it looks like this and that you would have the gall to want to do this trip. Now, mind you, we saw this trip. Well, we're on the 3rd episode, but we kind of saw
You and Dallas were watching this together? Okay.
and we saw the clips from when he went from Malaysia to England. The bike looks exactly like before he went from Malaysia to England. Now, mind you, that's 21,000 miles.
Wow.
The bike didn't look new at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like
from beginning to end?
Yes, and then he took that very same bike and did this trip. Now,
the lucky bike.
What like Dallas was like, you have to have a lot of free time to do that. I said, you do. And guess how long he took to go from the top of Alaska to Argentina? What he planned for?
How long?
I want you to guess.
He planned 90 days.
2 years. And me and Dallas was like, because we said 2 months, right? And I'm like, you know how much free time you got to be able to take 2 years of your life just to travel down a road to get now, mind you, it's beautiful. I can imagine the different things. But what type of life? Oh, so he's also cold with it too. For this trip, or the Malaysia trip, he put on Facebook, if anybody want to go from Malaysia to England on the bikes, you can go. He had like 5 volunteers, and most of the bikes was trash too. Everybody didn't make it. But the idea that people just said, I'm going to get up and go do this, it was like, that's a different level of freedom. And what made me think about it, because like I said, when you were little, did you think about, there's no way you thought about doing something like taking 2 years of your life and this is a grown man. So check this out. that one from Alaska to Argentina, he starts out with his girlfriend that he met, I think, on a trip from Malaysia to England. Now on episode 15, because this is the first episode that pops up, so we didn't even go to 1 yet. 15, we don't know about the girl.
Okay, she gone.
She's not in there.
She's like, man.
So we're looking forward to see what happened, because she did, but you can tell at the first episode, you can see her face. She was just like, yeah, it's exciting. Like, I was like, then I started thinking like, oh, she wasn't in 15. There's no way. Like, I don't think you would make it either. Like, even if it was all the families, like, look, we're not going to make it to Argentina this way. You know, imagine when we did the little European excursion. We did 6 countries, how tired we were. But they got 2 years to do this.
We did that in 2 weeks.
No, I know, but I'm saying like he only did it with like $4,500 too.
Oof. He was out here just being really hopeful. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in the one of the books that I'm listening to, it talks about when you're in survival mode, that you're capable of doing anything. And a lot of times when you're given like money, or like, you kind of take away the creativity on what you would have done to get to your goal. So people hitting lotteries, they don't get to keep it because they never learned how to make enough money where
they didn't have to just spend it. So whatever his skill is, I'm sure he has a generation of European descent
Shut up.
that's allowed him to be able to live this comfortable life at this age.
Maybe so.
That you don't like. That's like I can imagine Dallas said, "Hey, I'm gonna go stay in Australia for a couple of years and see what the landscape is." Like, it wouldn't surprise me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it would have surprised my father if I said something like that.
He'd been like, boy, you better go work. Shut up talking to me. But, I think that just comes with, as you take things a step further than your parents. And so I think that it makes sense to us for Day in Dallas to do that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Oh, you know what? I want to say rest in peace to my aunt. She passed last week, beginning of last week. And I just wanted to let her know that I'm thinking about her. I've been talking to her anyway because I know she's going to help me with Korean.
Her spirit is going to come in and
she
assist.
knows. Look, she knows I'm doing more Korean than I'm doing Arabic now. Well, I'm practicing more. So I'm serious. I want to get it to at least to the Arabic portion where I am. But yes, rest in peace. I was going to say Emo Oatfield, but that's like Emo is auntie like in Korean, but Oatfield's her last name, Suki Oatfield. And she has one son. She has a grandchild, and he was just born. Like,
she got to spend a lot of time with him over the last year, I think, didn't she?
Yeah. I would hope to believe. But I need to check on him. I sent a message to him. But I know my cousin Miso went down and kicked it with him. But I just hope that he's all right because both his parents has passed. And
in the last year?
No, last 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. But hopefully my mother is doing as good as she says she is. Because I saw a Facebook post of my uncle. We call him Sumchum. He was like, my sister died and that was my mother.
Yeah. And
I was like, like I didn't ever think about it like that. I have no idea. Like, it's crazy because I didn't call him. I haven't called anybody other than my mother. I just don't know how to be that type of kid because I just didn't grow up with death. And my father grew up with death. I remember people dying like his uncles or whatnot as when I was younger, but I didn't know him. So it wasn't like I cared to the point where it was going to affect me.
Well, then more so your dad was experiencing death around the time that you are now experiencing death in. If you were young and he was losing uncles and stuff, right?
No, I'm saying no, I know, but I didn't have any relationship with them. I know the kids didn't have any. They have a relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
Your mother, but I'm saying like the people that died, like I didn't have that many people die.
Oh, okay.
Like this is the third person that I really know, of significance. And everybody's significant, but I'm saying it's played a role in my life, in my whole life. So my grandfather, my father, and now my aunt. And this is on the Korean side though. But I don't know. It's kind of weird because I feel like it's almost like me being inconsiderate. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, if I call, like, I never called before. Like, I didn't call my Assumption before unless I was in Louisville. And now, like, how do I call him? Like, I don't even know how to do that. My mother, I'm still learning how to talk to her. But I don't know. It's weird how typically when I hear other people, when people die, they just, their response is totally different from mine. And I don't know what to I don't know what to do. It's like almost an uncomfortable feeling like I'm being lazy emotionally because I don't know. And I really don't know what to do at this point on how to like show people that I care. And
most people, they don't want to be on the phone for a long time. I think it's not a lot of talking that they want to do. So if you do call, you could just say that you realize that you hadn't, or you could just say, Sunshine, I hadn't really thought to myself that Emo was like your mother. And I'm sorry, I've been talking to Mom, but let me just check in on you. How are you? Because really all they want to do is be able to, some people don't even want to have to say anything. But, he'll tell you, he'll say, okay, let him talk for a minute and be like, I was just checking on you. I'm checking on you later or something, and then get off the phone. I think it's just the acknowledgement that he lost someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't really require you to have any detailed conversation or anything extra. I think that a lot of times I don't, and I need to stop doing this. I don't talk to elders in my family very often because I'm like, what am I talking to them about? But when I get on the phone with them, they only want to be on the phone with me about 5 minutes, and then they're trying to get off the phone. They be like, all right, Nika, thank you. Like, golly. But I think we just have this assumption that it's going to be complicated, and it's not.
I don't know, because it's complicated if nobody dies because I haven't called.
Yeah.
So it's even more complicated calling after somebody dies in my mind.
Well, you know what? Also, this can be the time for you to begin to call.
So
and not make it just about when someone passes.
I totally get it. So this is what I want to, I think I've talked to you about this before, but I feel like our elders are horrible communicators. Like, when I say that, I'm saying like they're supposed to show us how to communicate. So I'm to the point where you like, well, John, you can change it now. And I'm like, well, they ain't changed it. Like, to me,
so we gonna be petty.
I get it. Look, I'm not trying to be. It's one of those things where I don't even want to talk on the phone anyway.
Well, I think that there's got to be someone that turns the tide. So,
but see, that's what I'm doing. I send messages to my nieces and that. Well,
yeah, but I'm saying if the generations before you didn't do it and you decided to change it for your nieces and nephews, it doesn't change how our elders look at it. So just call them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just going to have to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
And now but now it's like you understand you're calling the younger ones to check in on them, and then they will understand for their future generations to do the same. Like my grandmother, I don't have a very good relationship with her at all, but my aunt, her sister, I do. And my grandmother, she does try to call now. Growing up, she didn't try to contact us at all. I think the expectation was we were supposed to contact her, and that just wasn't what I did. But now, like my aunt, she called me this weekend and she said, your grandmother is really missing you right now. You should call her or go see her. And I was like, what is she missing me for? And she's like, yeah, she's really missing you. You can always come by, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I got it. And so I think that they've realized that it's really radio silence when it comes to me. And so they're like, at least my aunt is, she calls. That's my great aunt. My aunts, my dad's sisters, they don't call me. My mom's brothers, they don't call me. I think the expectation is I'm supposed to do. Yeah. I'm supposed to call my elders, not my elders me. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That expectation is what's troubling me to break it. Like, I know somebody's going to have to do it.
Yeah, I figure it's probably our generation, and you're going to be the ones calling your elders and calling those younger than you. Yeah. And then the new generation will follow your suit.
I think the biggest problem on my mother's side is the fluency. Like, I know that they can speak English, but I tend to talk too fast, and I'm hoping that they caught it and didn't miss the message. That's the reason why I'm so serious about learning Korean. But my father's side has gotten a lot better. So I guess I used to feel like this about my father's side before. Like, I didn't consider my Korean side because I didn't talk to them nearly as much. And I didn't talk to my father's side, but as of recent, I've gotten a lot more interactive with my family. in the last few years, and that's cool. And I definitely want that for my Korean side. You know, it's so crazy. My assumption, his daughter contacted me and let me know that my aunt died. I'd already known, but she was with, our cousin, and I was like, I don't even talk to her. I haven't talked to her since she got married.
I gotta love that though. She was like, we gotta call the cousins and let them know too.
I know. And she sent me pictures that she saw. Like, I talked to my mama yesterday, and she was like, when you guys come back, you're gonna see so many pictures. She was like, John, this was 42 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, like she was like, this is when I first got to America. I was in Washington, and this is when I got to Kentucky. She was like, you like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, she get to back down memory lane.
Yep. And she was really excited. She was like, you're going to love the pictures. And I was like, she said, I don't even have pictures of me this young.
But your aunt was like the mother. So she was going to keep all that.
Yep. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about seeing her again, especially talking about those things. But I need to do a better job with the communication aspect.
I wonder, and anybody who's listening, I don't know I don't think there is a proper way. I think everybody's kind of different in how they connect with the elders in their family or whatever. But then when they pass, how do you feel? Do you feel?
I only feel sad for people around that don't understand. Like, I don't think about them as much because I feel like it's so many messages you can get. So I only take the positive ones. Like they did what they were supposed to do here. Mm-hmm. They have to go to their next journey.
I mean, no, but I'm thinking so my grandmother that I did grow up with, my granny, I grew up with her and saw her every week. Saw her, and when she passed away, I wasn't sad because I felt like I wish I would have spent more time with her, because every chance I got, I was hugging and kissing on her and in her face. You know what I'm saying? This grandmother, I don't necessarily know, when she passes away, I don't really know if I'm going to have any feelings. My aunt, my great aunt, I believe that, thinking about it now, listening to you talk about your aunt, I think to myself, if anything happened to her, I would feel like trash because she's 10 minutes away and I should be seeing her. You know what I'm saying? And so now I guess I'm thinking, when you're younger, you kind of just figure you always have time and you're moving about and you're really selfish and thinking about yourself and your life. And it's understandable because when you're younger, you do that. But then I have no right to mourn and be so sad when they go, because they were right there and they were asking to be with me and to see me. You know what I'm saying? So now it makes me feel like I need to go see her.
What has prevented you from doing that?
It's just, me personally, the things that go on in my life right now, I've been trying to really organize my thoughts. It's different now, We're in transition. We've added another child. You're changing directions. I am changing directions. And so to me, I'm just caught up in me. And in the moments where I'm not thinking about me, I'm not thinking about being in other people's presence. I'm usually looking for a place where I can be alone. And so, but every time I talk to her, I'm always happy when I get off and I feel loved. And I'm like, Kanika, you're supposed to be over there. What would it do to you you get 960 minutes a day? I broke that down one day. You take away the 8 hours you sleep, you take away the 8 hours you work. You have 960 minutes in every day, and you can't take 30 in one day out of an entire week to go sit there and talk and smile and laugh with her. Just to be able to, when my grandmother passed, I was so sad because I loved her so much and I loved every minute, and I knew I wasn't going to get those minutes again. But I never mourned the fact that I didn't. You're always going to feel like you didn't get enough time. But I never felt like I didn't give her my time when I could. My aunt, I'm not giving her my time when I know I can. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that, you know, in looking around, my uncle, I have an uncle that every time you talk to him, somehow, some way, you will say something and it will trigger a memory. He will tell you some stuff you had never known. Like, my mom was talking to my Uncle Les, and do you know he said that my granny used to sing for bands when she was younger. I had no idea. If you had ever met my granny, she seemed so quiet, and no, this chick was holding mics and singing songs out in front of crowds. And I was like, wow, like this dude, one time he was talking about how my great grandfather had a farm, and when he was younger, my great grandfather, when he was slaughtering the pigs, he told John this story. John was looking like, what in the world? And when he was slaughtering the pigs, my uncle said he remembers being a little kid and blowing the bladder up like a balloon and playing with it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it's like, what? Can you think of all the history and things you're missing because you're just not talking to them and giving them just a little bit of time to be able to go back? And my mom, you know, anybody that talks to any of them, you miss out on so much that they could be telling you. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of making me feel like I'm about to go see her today, because I want to feel like how I did when my grandmother passed away. I want to feel like I'm so glad I had all of those moments with her, and not be sad and say, I wish I had had more. Like when my dad died, we were living overseas, and I'm thinking about the times he had a really hard time communicating because of all his strokes or whatever. But I'm thinking about all the times I would come there and I would bring Day in Dallas, and he would talk. You wouldn't always know what he was saying, but you could tell he was happy when he was talking and just watching them. And I wished I had more of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a memory just came up on Facebook where it was the first time in, I think it was maybe 7 years ago, was the first time I'd seen my dad genuinely smile like he did when I was a kid. Like, you know, and it felt so good. And I said, I wish I could hold on to this face, like in seeing it, because I don't know if I'll ever see it again. And us being so far away, I know that there were times that he was alone, and I wish I could have been there. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess this is just saying we have to make them our priority. We have to make our elders our priority. You know what I'm saying? We make our kids our priority. It's our job. But you may, and it's my love. I love to do that. But my elders too.
Yeah. I keep wanting them to accept responsibility.
But you can't teach. They're old. We ain't gonna reteach them some new skills.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking culturally, I don't really know culturally on the Korean side, but the way you're supposed to, you know, respect and revere your elders, I'm imagining that the younger generation is supposed to seek their elders.
No, you're right. They seek because the elders showed them how to do it. It was like you build a relationship with somebody, and then it was like, you know, I'm going to go back and, you know, but if you don't have that relationship, you're asking, well, the whole situation is asking me to evolve into this person because I'm mad because they didn't create the relationship with me. And I get it. I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where the balance of not complaining about it and the actual effort it takes to complete these tasks.
Out of 960 minutes a day.
Yeah, look.
I think that
I don't want to be uncomfortable in any of them.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that with time, it doesn't become uncomfortable, though.
Oh, I know. You just got to do it and start it.
And you learning Korean, I think it'll really help you as far as being able to communicate. But at the same time, I think a lot of people, they move through life doing these things because they're not aware. You are aware. So that's not an excuse anymore.
No, and I know that's what I'm saying. Like, that's another thing that bothers me. When I become aware of things that I feel like somebody was supposed to teach me, but now I have to like put in the effort to make sure that whoever's watching me knows how the game is played or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I guess time will tell.
Something you're going to have to start doing, and teaching the kids that, like, our kids will literally get lost in themselves. They don't be thinking about nobody, but they need to contact their grandparents.
See, that's again. That's what.
No, but I'm saying because they're the last generation. You know, with us, it won't be that.
Oh, look.
But I'm saying in order to be able to bridge that, I think that that's something that we should teach them too.
Well, yeah. Oh, I mean, I think your parents are a lot easier. My mother, it's a lot of confusion. Most of the time, they don't even talk when we're face to face.
Yeah.
But
Dallas says he has a hard time understanding everything.
Both of them do.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, you know, with time.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But
I do like talking about this because this is one of those areas where I know that I need to improve in. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow's not promised. And I will say this. I've convinced myself that death is not a bad thing, and that I won't let it beat me up either.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know if that's selfish or giving me a reason to not do more, but I'm just not I'm not there yet because I feel like I don't know. You know how when you expect some kind of reciprocation, and like if you're doing this and you don't see any change, it's like, when do you put up the boundary? Say, okay, I've done enough. Like, when do you do that?
Well, my thing is, are you doing it so you'll see somebody else do something, or are you doing it for yourself?
Well, I want to do it so that if I do not follow up, they're checking on me. Oh, like, what's wrong with John? Let's see what's going on with John. Like, I don't feel like any of that happens.
No, but I feel like it's a balance of when people be like, are you doing it so someone will do something else, or are you doing it because that's what you genuinely want to do?
I'm doing it to create a relationship.
Oh, yeah, okay. I get that.
If they
and
don't
you're like,
do that
I want
part,
you to come look for me too. Yeah, but
no,
if their practice is not doing that, and then they've gotten used to the younger generation seeking the elder, then they feel like, now this is how it was supposed to be in the first place.
I get it. I'm just saying, when is it? Yeah. When do you say, okay, they ain't doing the same effort. Mm-hmm. I already didn't want to do it. Now I feel like the relationship has gotten better. Mm-hmm. Why aren't they reaching out? Or why, like, when do I be like, okay, you know, like I just say, okay, I'll do it once a month, or, you know, I just when I get there, like, or.
But you know what's weird is that I think that when they get used to it and then you haven't called, they be like, hey, why ain't you called me? You know what I'm saying? Now, my grandmother, she doesn't do that. My grandmother, she waits until she sees you, and then she be like, well, you don't ever call or try to. No, I don't. I think that it all depends. You know, when I contact her, I contact her to be able to say I did it, and then I don't really care if she.
So why do you do it in vain though?
No, I guess I do it sometimes just because I literally do things because in that moment, that's what I want. I don't do it because I expect anything to be reciprocated. I don't really, the only thing I care about is in that moment, that interaction.
Oh, I get it. But that's just one occurrence. I'm saying, if you telling me to reach out to my elders, that means it's me constantly doing it. When is it, okay, I'm good. Like I can't continue this. Like
I guess if whenever.
Remember, I told you with my friends. I told you that I realized that I needed my friends more than they needed me. And I was getting mad because of the reciprocation factor.
Right.
Now I don't talk to my friends very often at all.
Right.
So what are you telling me? Because they're not older, I shouldn't reach out to them? Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, like, when is it, okay, you did your part. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know. I guess when you get tired, it's up to you. When you're thinking about.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, I want to make sure I put in the right effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like, okay, I've seen this before. I'm not even going to put the effort in.
I don't know. I just do things until I don't feel like it. And then I don't feel nothing else about it.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, me, I'm trying to do new things that I never even done before or knew that I could do because I want things to change. So it's like me being proactive and trying to create relationships so that my kids don't feel the same way I do when they become adults.
I don't know. I don't know if that's I don't know how anybody would really feel about that. I don't make a cutoff time or there's a measurement. It's just however I feel. So I feel like if you're doing something new, there are no set rules. You're going to determine it.
Got you. Then I guess I'm just have to leave it to the kids to take it to another level.
Knowing who our kids are, knowing who our kids are.
That's what I'm saying. So we're already establishing bad habits.
Them mugs, I tell you, but I don't know. We have to. I don't like making up new rules, but okay, it's cool.
What new rules did we make up?
I don't know. Oh, what practices is we need to model what we want them to do. So let's do it.
I do.
Oh,
I talk to you. Look, I do talk to my nieces and nephews.
yeah, you do.
And I just recently talked to Cortez on the telephone.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. We talked like he's interested in music and podcasting.
Oh, okay.
And we chopped it up, and I just told him, I was like, look, this ain't one of those. This ain't no Trinidad James.
No,
like,
it ain't
you're not gonna have
hey.
you have a cold conversation and people just follow you and you be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna come with work. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I do need to do a better job with a couple of other nieces, but I definitely have spoken to them in the last 2 or 3 months, and they contact me too. So
there you go.
I know, but you just said model it. I am.
Oh, okay.
Like the elders aren't modeling anything.
Well, I think the elders are for our kids. Our elders are. Like, their elders are, so it's okay. Like, Mom and Chuck Mom be trying to Marco Polo these kids. They don't answer, and she be calling and they don't answer. But we also have kids that don't even care to have their phone next to them. So it's all a practice that we have to just reinforce. It's cool.
For sure. Well, I guess we're gonna get out of here. Anything you want to say, or special shout out, or anything?
I'm gonna say I want y'all to think about somebody when you were younger, one of your elders that you really like to spend time with that you probably don't call or talk to, and call them.
Definitely. Please.
It'll only be like a 5-minute conversation. I can almost guarantee you.
If it's longer than 5 minutes, understand that one of y'all liked the conversation.
Hey, I will say this. When you call, if you ask them anything about when they were little, you're going to find a funny story somewhere.
Well, I didn't. I definitely asked my mama. I said, Mama, what did you want to be when you grow up? Nothing.
Look.
And she was serious.
I asked my grandmother, she said, I had a teacher that dressed nice, and I just wanted to dress nice when I got older. I was like, big dreams and goals. But, but then you sometimes get the bladder, that's the balloon. Or my uncle said he used to travel, and he was well underage, but he used to get into these juke joints because his parents were performers, and the stories he had to tell. So you get some good stories too.
Definitely. But y'all make sure y'all contact one of your elders, learn a story so you can tell your kids or tell a friend. so we can learn some of these lessons.
960 minutes today.
For sure.
Give 5 of them.
Just 5 of them. Gonna make today better than yesterday. 안녕히가세요.
안녕하세요. I don't know what 안녕히가세요 is.
Goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
감사합니다. Boom.